all, my name is Blair, and today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up. The library in my town is very small, and my school library is very small, so I went to the third largest city in Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota, and I went to their public library, and they have an entire room dedicated to young adult novels. It was like I was in a dream world. It was so fantastic. I stayed there and I had 7 books in my hands, but I had to put them back because I knew that I wouldn't read them all. I'm getting back into reading, and now that I have this huge resource just 30 minutes away, I'm going to be reading a lot more. My January schedule was literally booked solid, and so now February I'm going to be more free. My sport that I'm in, dance, is going to be finishing, and so I'm going to have a lot more time to read, and I'm really excited about it because reading is just very relaxing and I love it. So let's get into my January reads. Right. The first book I read this month was Skin and Bones by Sherry Shahan. This book is about a boy who is anorexic, and he goes to an eating disorder facility, and he falls in love with a girl who's anorexic. And the book reminded me of Paper Towns a lot. So if you liked Paper Towns, then you will like this book. I really liked our main character. I didn't think I would, but I did. It's just so interesting to be able to be in the brain of somebody with an eating disorder. The next book I read was The Distance Between Us by Casey West. I listened to the audiobook of this in a week. I have a lot of time to listen to audiobooks because I travel so much. My commute to my college is 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, so that's an hour a day, and sometimes I go up there twice a day for my acting troupe. I have a lot of free time to listen to books, so I listened to The Distance Between Us. It's about a girl who lives above a doll store, and she's kind of poor in the town that she lives in. There's a lot of rich people, and she falls in love with somebody who's rich, and it's really sweet, and it's very cliche, but really good. If you really like cliche and you just want to read a cutesy, lovey-dovey love story, then this is your book. The next book I read was Stronger Than You Know by Jolene Perry. I read this book because I'm changing speeches. I was going to be doing All the Right Places for my prose speech, but now I'm going to be doing Stronger Than You Know. It's about a girl who grew up 15 years in a trailer with her mother, and she got abused and raped, a really bad situation, and she actually got saved by her aunt and uncle, and so it's kind of her figuring out how to be normal. She says that she's not normal, and there's love in it, and not just from a boy, but also her family's very loving, and she never got to feel that from her mother, so it's really sweet and hard to read at points, but you have to get through those parts in order to truly understand what she went through, and it was just so cool to be able to understand the character that I was going to portray in speech. So now I really know who I am in my speech. The last book I read this month was Weird Girl and What's His Name by Megan Brothers. I saw this on Goodreads and really wanted to read it, and then I saw it in the beautiful YA section at the library, and I picked it up and read it in about 2 days. I haven't read this quick in a really long time. I've been so busy, but so good. The girl's name is Lula and the boy's name is Rory, and they are best friends, and they're both obsessed with sci-fi movies, The X-Files, things like that. They're nerds. Lula is known as the weird girl in high school, and then Rory's kind of just her sidekick, and nobody really knows his name, so they call him What's His Name. Lula's mother dropped her off at her grandparents' house, and basically she grew up with her grandparents, and she has never really felt like she belonged, and she found a really good friend in Rory, but she starts to fall in love with him, but he comes out gay, so she feels kind of betrayed, even though she's just making up this love in her head because she yearns for love, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Go for it, read it, you'll love it. Now on to my January buys. I bought Skin and Bones, which I read, and then I also bought Lies I Told by Michelle Zink, that's how you say that. Michelle Zink, and I wanted to read this for a while, and I picked it up, but then I put it down because I just wasn't getting into it, and if I'm not gonna go 100% into a book, then I don't want to read it, because then I won't take in the characters and enjoy it. So I'm going to save this one for later. This one is about a girl who is in a family, and she was adopted into it, and they're con artists. So they're an entire family of con artists. So they go into towns and con people, and she falls in love with her Mark, and it's not good. So yeah, those are all the books I read and bought in January. This is going to be a short video, but I really hope that February is a good month for me, reading-wise. I'm also going to start reviewing for you guys. I haven't reviewed just like one book in forever, but they're coming. It's coming, I promise. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.